Sonic the Hedgehog's a little stink. Gabbers, how's it going? Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Poodle, thanks for subscribing. I'm here. I'm on time. Went to pick up the little girl earlier this morning, and I don't know what it is about riding in the car in the morning, but it just... it just puts her out, man. Poodle, you're in China. Be careful, there's lots of Chinese people there. Watch out for them. But yeah, like, I thought I had gotten there early enough that little girl wouldn't be falling asleep in the car, but... no, she sure as hell was trying to fall asleep as soon as we got on that highway, so I had to, like... God, I hate this one strand of hair. So I had to, like, reach... I hate this one strand of hair. So I had to be, like, reaching back there and, like, tapping her in the face, and shouting and screaming to see if it'll keep her awake, and it was very tenuous. I somehow was able to keep her awake through the whole car ride. Somehow. Barely. Very difficult situation, but she's good now. Taking a nap at her normal time, so hopefully I can continue wiping my glasses live on stream. Hopefully we can get plenty of time working on the game today. It's like mystery hair on my glasses. I'm just gonna pretend everything's good. Let's play video games. My hat is trying to escape. Let's make video game. Let's see. Gotta get a big old can of old man drink here. They took this man on the can and they liquefied him. They put him in a giant industrial blender and they put him in this can. And whenever they do that, they put the face of the man on the can so you know who you're drinking. It's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up. But, I mean, it seems like a pretty good marketing technique. That way you know exactly what you're getting. There we go. Bye, Poodle. Thanks for joining us. Where's my can opening? There we go. Alright, there we go. Pretty sure I was supposed to shake this, but I'm very stupid. I'm very stupid, so I didn't shake it. Because I didn't shake it, the old man's fluids are all separated. Very upsetting. Very disappointing.
Ding, 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 ding. Welcome to Windows 98. Why are you still using Windows 98? What is wrong with you? Stop buying computers from thrift stores, man!
Alright. Pop in a click and play here. Five Nights at Freddy's, like, the problem with that is I've never played a Five Nights at Freddy's game, so I don't know what they're like, and thus I don't want to find out what they're like. So I don't want to do that. Can we incorporate the Arthur dance in the game? Maybe? Hong Kong 97, but with Arthur characters. I don't know how entertaining that would be. Pro Jared horror chase idea. I don't understand what that means. Horror stealth where you hide in closets. Well, creepy pasta monsters chase. What are all these levels? Placeholder tally. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna copy and paste this so we have we have to get all of our placeholders. Sorry, my brain's getting distracted. Placeholder tally. Okay. So this is placeholder level 5 tally. Guys, if you're doing suggestions right now, I'm not looking at the chat. I'm setting up the placeholders. Hold on. Placeholder level 4 special stage. Which is now placeholder level 5 special stage. Placeholder level 4 to 5 cutscene. So placeholder level 5 to 6 cutscene. And then a placeholder game over. Okay, now I'm looking at the chat. Run away from Pro Jared, whose neck stretches to chase you. Metal Gear. Mario Blackjack. Okay. I'm not gonna put... So Chris Boris is already an enemy in the first stage. I'm not gonna make him a main character in the game. That's not gonna happen. Ronnie the Skeleton, I don't know, maybe. We need an idea for... Okay, we need a genre gameplay style for this stage. And we can kind of work out the character as well, but we need idea... Stage idea. Rhythm section. I could not imagine how nightmarish it would be to try and code a rhythm game and click and play. Metal Gear Stealth. I mean, you could probably do something like Metal Gear Stealth, but you know, you would be stuck on more or less one screen. It would be like, you know, and having to get through the screen. First-person shooters. I mean, you could do something kind of like a light gun game, but I don't know how good that would be in Click and Play. Hold on, my pants are like sagging. Alright, we need to start considering these ideas. So it's gonna help if we write things down. So let's start by jotting down what we've already done. We already have platformer, which is Gex. We already have overhead punchy thing, which is Goku. We have swingy wall crawly, which is Peter. We have puzzle platformer, which is Laura. And we have arena survival thing, which is Simpson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so that's what we already have covered. Overhead racing / driving wouldn't be too difficult. It probably wouldn't be too difficult. We have to consider we'd be stuck on a single screen, and it would be frustrating, wouldn't control very well, you know? That's the main thing. Here's the main thing. Making a racing game that controls well under the best circumstances is a nightmare. Making a racing game that controls well under extremely limited game tool made for children in the 90s is something worse than a nightmare somehow. So that's... I'm just not sure if it would turn out very good. Battletoads Turbo Tunnel, but it's an hour long. So that's... Okay, so hold on. Let's divide up our document here. Okay, so... Ideas. Okay, so... That kind of falls under the theme of an infinite runner. The Battletoads Turbo Tunnel. It's kind of a side-scrolling infinite runner, but it is an infinite runner. I personally don't think it would be very entertaining to put an infinite runner stage in the game, but it is an idea. Let me write down some of the other ideas we've had here. Overhead racing. My opinion on overhead racing is I don't think we'd be able to make it enjoyable to control. Especially when we're limited to a single screen, and being limited to a single screen forces us to make the sprites really small, which makes it very difficult to code things with precision. Stealth. Metal Gear Stealth. The reason I'm a little about Metal Gear Stealth is because, you know, we're limited to single screens. It would be... Whereas Metal Gear is about, you know, exploring a large area. When you break it down, Metal Gear is kind of like an overhead Metroidvania almost. And trying to translate that into Click and Play where we can't pass data in between scenes in any easy way would make it kind of not great. It would end up... Why is my dad trying to call me? Tell you what, gamers, let me answer the phone. I'll be back. The problem with my dad is... Here's the thing. I love my dad. He worked his whole life, you know, doing real, like, proper, like, physical man work to provide for my mother and me, you know. And he always wants to help, but he does not know when to stop talking. He does not know when to stop fucking talking. Like, he will go on and on and on and fucking on. God damn. Oh, Lord. Okay, Okay. Alright, so Metal Gear Stealth. Here's the thing. We could easily do, you know, single screen, just sneak past the enemies to get to the end kind of stealth. We could do that. I don't know how fun that would be, but, you know, just single screens where the point is to sneak to the end, we could do that. I just don't know how fun it would be. Okay. What other ideas do we have? Arthur typing challenge with bad words. I don't think we'd be able to do a typing game. Vampire Survivors. Not an awful idea. The main issues we have to consider the 256 limit on active objects. So in total, there can only be 256 moving things on screen, and that limit has to be shared by both enemies and projectiles. So while theoretically an easy thing to do, the sprite limit would severely hinder us a lot. Diddy Kong Max Payne clone. I have no idea how we would even do that in Click and Play. I have no fucking idea. Quiz section? I mean, technically, you could do that, but that really wouldn't be fun. Metal Gear like with an Eye of Sauron hazard that you need to knock, move, etc. I mean, yeah, that falls into the Metal Gear Stealth idea. Light gun, mouse shooter. That's a possibility. It would make it a little difficult to play, like, you know, with a controller, if someone was playing with a controller, but it's, I'll write it down. Light gun, mouse shooter. Bullet hell shmup. I mean, here's the thing. The reason that there's so many shoot-'em-up games on a lot of early consoles is because shoot-'em-ups are the easiest fucking game genre to make. They're, like, so brain-dead simple. So it's a possibility. We could do something like that. Indie Farming Simulator. I don't think that would work. A genre where you have to sit there and tend to your crops for an extended period of time would not work in the framework of this game we're making. Oreo's Woods. The problem with... Damn it, I said it. The problem with puzzle games and Click and Play is you need to be able to read the state of the playfield and the position of the blocks to be able to determine what needs to be, you know, wiped out for points. And the only way to do that, like, properly, is to be able to run code in loops, so you can do, like, multiple, like, big checks in each, frame rendered. And Click and Play can't really do that. It's a support loop, so there wouldn't be a real way for us to do a puzzle game, unfortunately. chess section. I'm gonna write board game. Warp track. I was just thinking for a second, would it be possible to make a Mario Party-like game? To some extent, it might be possible to make a basic Mario Party type thing, but at the same time, that Mario Party is so reliant on random that it would make it so you couldn't reliably get through it with, you know, getting all of the collectibles you need to get the special stage and get the good ending, so I don't know if it would work well in this. So far, out of these ideas... the shmup seems the most possible, just based on the technology we have. But I don't know how fun it would be. But that's more me talking, because I'm not a huge fan of shoot-em-ups myself. You know what I mean? That could just be my own bias. Make it a parody of Star Fox? That's not a bad idea. Binary Land. I mean, that's... yeah, it's definitely doable in Click and Play. I just don't know how fun it would be. Making a shmup into like a... kind of a Star Fox parody would be interesting, but that would also mean that rather than coming up with, one... you know, main character, we would have to come up with a team. A team of characters. Plants vs. You know, Plants vs. Zombies would actually be relatively straightforward, to be honest. It's really just placing stuff down. The hardest thing is just going to be coding to, you know, the logic for how placing things and stuff works. That's not a bad idea at all. That would work within the limitations of Click and Play. Arthur characters in a Star Fox. That might be okay. Detective mystery whodunit. Like we considered like a point-and-click adventure game when we were planning the Simpsons stage, but the conclusion was that without being able to pass data between screens, it just would not be really feasible. Pinball game? I don't know how well that would work with the physics in Click and Play. I wish the Vampire Survivors idea was more feasible. It's just that with how few objects you can have on screen, it just would be so, it would be so, like, neutered compared to the real thing, you know? Cannon fodder? I don't know what cannon fodder is. Yeah, sorry, Mike. My nose is still kind of recovering from the cold. Now it's deciding to be all sneezy. Arth Fox. Overhead squad-based shooter on the tactical side. Yeah, no idea. Hold on, my nose is being a little fuggly. You might be able to do something like a single screen, Advanced Wars or, Fire Emblem. The problem is I've played so little of those that I would have to kind of figure out how those games work, you know what I mean? Before I could do anything. And the main issue with that, actually, more so, would be the enemy AI. The enemy AI would be too much for quick and play. So it might not be. I don't think that would actually be worth it. Man. Okay. Yeah, basically, you're right. We can't really do anything strategy RTS specifically because enemy AI would be just too much for Click and Play to handle. RPGs would be very difficult because of the same issues we ran into when we were playing the Simpsons stage, where passing data between screens is a huge fucking pain in the ass that is basically, for all intents and purposes, impossible unless you really go out of your way. And even if you do go really out of your way, the amount of data you can actually pass through is extremely small. A microgame section, I mean, that might... A microgame section might be doable. It might... I'm gonna write it down. Microgames might be possible, like it... I don't think it would be that much more work than a normal game, because they're microgames, you know? They're micro. Like, how many microgames are in a single stage? From the game? Like how many? For each stage. Does anyone know? Like 30 stages. But they're not like 30 polished ass stages. They're very basic. I'm leaving it on the list because in my head, I feel like the limitations aren't quite as damaging as you'd think. Like, I feel like that would be possible. I'm leaving it on the list because I don't think it's as hard as a lot of the other ideas. Are there any extremely obvious game genres we have not covered here on our list? I can't really think of any. I don't know how you would do a Strand type game in Click and Play. Ball and paddle. Oh, like Breakout? Breakout's not a... That's not a bad idea. You know, Click and Play already has a built-in ball movement. The coding for a Breakout clone would be extremely simple. How fun is that, though? I mean, that's open to debate. That's absolutely open to debate. But Breakout would be a very simple thing. We could stick any character we wanted in there. And theme the stages however we want. It would be a very simple thing to put together. A very simple thing, Breakout. So that's not a bad idea at all. Do a walking simulator. You just hold right and your character walks. And then occasionally there's some text on screen about depression. Angry Birds. The issue with something like Angry Birds is there's not really a physics engine in Click and Play to speak of. It would be extremely, kind of gimped. Choose your own adventure. I mean, choose your own adventure will be relatively simple, but I don't know. That could be a little. Then there's the onus of writing and drawing, and I don't know. I don't know if it would be worth the trouble. Choose your own adventure. Tower defense. Maybe that wouldn't be so hard. I mean, there's certain aspects about it that could be a little tricky, but I think it would be doable to some extent in Click and Play. Space Invader. Space Invader, I think, falls under the category of shmup. There's certain things about tower defense that will be a little iffy, but I do think, for the most part, tower defense will be possible. But when you think about it, tower defense and Plants vs. Zombies are kind of the same thing, in a way. So yeah, I think that's worth keeping on the list. That's worth keeping on the list. Definitely worth keeping on the list. 100%. Bomberman clone. I suppose you could do a Bomberman type game here, yeah. This is going to sound controversial, but personally, I've never found 2D classic style Bomberman games to be much fun in single player aspect. I'll write it down because it should technically be possible, but I don't know, single player Bomberman, like classic style, I've never found it to be that fun. Quicks? I don't think quicks would be possible in Click and Play because calculating, you know, portions of the screen that have been chewed up and everything would not really be doable without proper loops to calculate in the middle of frames and stuff. Dr. Mario, we can't really do puzzle games for the same reason. Without loops, we can't really read the playfield and see what is ready to go in a manner that's fast enough for the player to deal with. Talking section. Okay, try to think this through. Any genre that I am missing on this list. Mario Blackjack, Mario card playing game. With cards, I mean, maybe cards would be a little more forgiving, but you have to keep in mind if you're doing like a card game, you're in the situation where you're having to code AI, artificial intelligence, for the opponent again. Typing of the Dead, it's kind of hard to do text input and click and play, so unfortunately it wouldn't really work too well. Dig Dug clone. A Dig Dug clone wouldn't be that bad. The thing's, a lot of those classic kind of arcade games, I don't know if they kind of lend too well to, you know, to, like, they're fun to play when you're sitting there and you're just playing it, you know, to get as far as you can, but in the limits of a single stage in a larger game, I kind of feel like they feel too simple and out of place, almost. Because when you think about it, the difference between one level in Dig Dug and another is the enemies. There's more enemies in different places. You can kind of just go through the whole stage, dig through the, I don't know. I just feel like I like Dig Dug. I love Dig Dug, but I don't know if it really fits in this overall game we're doing. Like, I kind of feel like whatever we do has to kind of work as a stage-based thing. Pac-Man. I mean, Pac-Man kind of falls under the same issue. It's like, what's the difference between stage 1 of Pac-Man and stage 50 of Pac-Man? The ghosts are faster, I guess. And a lot of the classic arcade games are like that. Donkey Kong Math. Frogger. Frogger. Bubble Bobble or Parasol Stars. I mean, that's not too out of the picture. Frogger. Bubble Bobble. Like, Bubble Bobble has, you know, stages, proper stages, so that kind of fits better in the thing. And Frogger, we could make different kind of stages. Still be limited to kind of one screenish kind of things. I'm just not sure how well it would work. Shooting minigame in Evil Within 2? No, don't know what Evil Within is. My issue right now looking at our list is there's maybe half a handful here of genres that I wouldn't mind if we went with to start. But it's a thing where it's like, how do you pick just one? Puzzle shooting, tiles fall down, connect the tiles. Puzzle game thing again. It won't work. We can't calculate the playfield in real time. Okay, let me mark what I'm leaning towards. Shmup. I'm leaning towards shmup because of it being relatively, simple to do with click and play, and it would not require as much, fuckery to make work. It would be relatively simple to work in click and play. I'm not super thrilled on the idea of doing a shmup because I don't really like shmups that much, but I'm thinking it because, it would be relatively simple to do. I'm still kind of thinking microgames wouldn't be as bad as y'all are thinking. I think it would be possible to do, but the part that's kind of making me go, in fact, I'm going to change that star to a squiggle, is a single stage of a micro games, a single stage would have about 30 micro games, and that's a lot. So I'm kind of on that. Breakout, I think would be pretty simple doing click and play, and I have like a affinity to Sonic Brick, which was a click and play game that I played as a kid a lot, so I'm kind of biased towards it. I'm going to kind of consolidate these two because they're kind of the same idea. Plants vs. Zombies or a tower defense game would be a little tricky to do. It would. But I think it would be feasible in click and play with a bit of hard work. Everything else on this list I think is possible. But the ones I have marked here are the ones I'm more leaning towards right now. Just making it a little hard to decide. Combining shmup and tower defense. Kind of like that one, like putting a playable character like on the field of the tower defense. Kind of like that one Steam game where you played as the anime girl, like first person. It might be interesting to combine like a playable character with the rest of tower defense. But yeah, out of the ones I have marked here, tower defense, Plants vs. Zombies, whatever, is the most complicated of the ones I have marked. The rest of them are a lot more simple. So if this is all the ideas we have, then we have to ask ourselves, do we want, after spending literally over a year, if you go back and you look at the archive channel, look at the videos for the Simpsons stage, we spent over a year on the Simpsons stage. After spending over a year on the Simpsons stage, do we want to jump into another stage that may be complicated? Or do we want to go and do something a little bit more on the simple side? There's nothing wrong necessarily with going to doing another complicated thing, but that's something to consider. Contra? Oh, like a shooter platformer? Maybe. Shouldn't Bubba be the shooter platformer? I don't know. Doesn't Contra need scrolling? I don't know. That's Laura. Laura's more of a puzzle platformer than a shooter platformer. She has a gun, but it's not the main focus of her life. Cameras, I've had like a piece of meat from breakfast stuck in my teeth like all day. Let's look at something. Save the game real quick. Let's go back to our test game. I want to say we had I had this set up from before. We were kind of experimenting a little with right to left scrolling. And as we were doing this, I was saying, like, see how it doesn't work, see how it doesn't work, but then as I'm playing it, I'm like, you know, this isn't as busted as I thought it would be. Oops. Like, this is literally like two lines of events to make it work the way it is right now. The player's using standard built-in movement. The problem here is that literally every object in the stage, like every platform, everything that scrolls with the camera has to be an active object, which means all of those things are going to count against the 256 object limit. Oops. You know? So, that's something that would have to be considered, because .256 is, you know, it's not a lot of objects. Like, can we cheat and use super huge segmented objects that count as one? Maybe? Like if we had huge chunks of stage and stuff, kind of like pre-cut up. I mean, theoretically, I guess that could work. It's not the most unfeasible idea we've had. It's not the most unfeasible idea we've had. What was I gonna say? One issue is I've never really played a lot of Contra. Like, I played the first stage of, like, Contra and the first stage of Contra 3. So it kind of wouldn't be very Contra-like. It would just be me putting together a shooty platformer. Well, here's the thing. Who says it needs to be an auto-scroller? So how about we replace this with... if this man is overlapping... Maybe we can even have it scroll a little faster. Oops. Actually, we don't even need that object. I'm thinking this in a dumb way. Oops. Lost my music. God damn it, music, I refreshed you. And now it's like kind of scrolling as we're towards the front of the screen. And obviously, you know, we could fine-tune this and adjust the speed and mechanics and everything to make it more suitable to however we make the game, but... So it's a possibility. It's not the most undoable idea to do a side-scroller. You gotta keep in mind... Oops, we can't go backwards. And we have to be extremely mindful of the active object limit. I think we've hit the end of the stage here. Yep. So it's possible. It is actually possible to do. The whole stage is one object. I don't know... See, I don't know how well that would work, because I feel like Klik and Play would be difficult to work with to have the whole thing. The segmenting makes sense. I think segmenting it makes sense, but... Okay, so this is worth considering, if we wanted to do kind of a shooty thing. It's worth considering. Let me try something here. Directions, no speed, max acceleration, no deceleration. I'm getting all the ways in here. Position him on the street farther. Where's the street farther? Like right here. Okay, so that's looking where I'm looking. let's say if we are holding a button. Every something seconds. The action point is positioned wrong. Hold on. So we have like the usual control issue where Click and Play interprets control stupid. It only is interpreting the button being held down if I'm not holding down any other buttons, but we can of course work around that with an obnoxious amount of code. Oops. Yeah, it's possible. I think it would be possible to do something like this. We just have to decide if we want to do it or not. So the question right now is, do we want to go with one of the simpler ideas of a shmup, breakout, or do we want to go with one of the more complicated ideas of a tower defense, micro games, or this platform scrolly shooter thing? Like, what do we want to do? Finished all my liquefied old man juice. Did I mark that the baby fell asleep? Is the baby still asleep? The baby's still asleep. Okay, let's get some kind of consensus in here. What should we try to do? Do we want to do a simple shmup or breakout? Do we want to do a tower defense? Do we want to do micro games? Do we want to do the shooter platformer Contra thing? What do y'all think? I see 2 for shmup. I see 1 for the Contra shooter. Spooky's vote is completely null and void because he voted for both of them. Okay, hold on. My brain isn't working today. I'm gonna do a poll. Okay. Shmup. Shmuo. What? Contra. Breakout. Tower defense. Microgames. Okay, poll is up. Poll is up. Sorry, I saw movement from the baby. She's just wiggling around a little. It's pretty close between Shmup and Contra right now. It's uncomfortably close, to be honest. Approximately only half of the viewers have voted, so if you want to just pop in real quick and just do a quick vote on the poll, it'll help. Just a quick one to help come to a consensus. Just a quick tap. A quick clicky tap. There's still a minute and a half left. No. No, half my viewers are asleep. Half my viewers is asleep. Oh, Shmup just took the lead. It's about 30 seconds left. Shmup is currently in the lead. Oh, Shmup just took a big step in the lead here. And it's about to close out. Shmup. Okay, so we're going to attempt. We're going to attempt a Shmup. Okay, so Shmup. The idea we had was to kind of parody Star Fox a bit. Who do we want? Who do we want the crew to be? Who do we want the crew to be in our Shmup? Binky, Arthur, Buster, and the Brain. Okay, that's one option. That's one option. If we're gonna do a Star Fox like parody, then it needs to be a crew. The Lost Vikings? I don't know about that. I mean, it's a possibility. I just don't know how entertaining they would be. Why would we have the Three Stooges? When have we ever interacted with Three Stooges media on this stream? I don't want to do YouTube losers. I'm not doing that. Okay, so here's the thing. If we did characters from Arthur, what would they fly? Like what would their vehicles be? N64 controllers? No, that's the Mario Kart crew who flies those. See, part of the issue with the Star Fox parody is that not only is the Star Fox crew a character, the R-Wing in and of itself kind of is a character. Like, that ship has a lot of character. You know? That becomes the question. Giant library cards like surfboards. That is one option. That is indeed one option. The lawnmower from Bully. They could be driving lawnmowers. The choplifter from Nuts and Bolts. I mean, I don't know why Arthur would be driving that. Lawnmower. Yeah, see, it's actually kind of harder than you'd think, because it's like it you know, it leans into the theming of the stage. Like, if you had the characters from Arthur driving lawnmowers, why are they out here in lawnmowers? Where are they? Who are their enemies? Why are they doing this? It ends up being a little difficult, you know, to kind of figure it out. Why is Chris Boris attacking Gex? Because Gex is on his property. Of course. Four main dudes from San Andreas. We've never played San Andreas on this channel. Trying to think what our options are here. What are our goddamn options? What would be the funniest thing? The paper airplane from the Arthur games. I mean, yeah, that would make sense. So what would work if we do the Arthur characters for the shmup? What would work for them to fly in a way that it would lend to basic premise for the stage, for them being there and doing what they're doing. I don't think Arthur would do a thing such as that. There it is. I was about to say, my thingy's not working. Voltbox, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate that. We need to play more Arthur games for inspiration. I mean, what Arthur games are even left? Okay, but maybe rather than trying to think of what they're flying, if we think of the stage location, where they're flying, maybe that'll lead us into what they're flying. So where would the Arthur crew be? Because in all of the 3 Arthur Living Books games we played, none of the locations themselves were particularly compelling. The compelling part was clicking the words to make the story about fucking Arthur's mom. That was the compelling part. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. So looking back at the locations, at the stages from the theming of the stages from the previous games, Gex is in a city. There's not much reason for him to be in the city, that's just what we came up with. He just happens to be there. Second stage, Goku is in Brazil. I feel like it makes a lot of sense for Goku to be in Brazil. Because why wouldn't Goku be in Brazil? That makes sense. Why we decided to have it be a cheesecake factory in Brazil, I don't remember. But the Brazil part at least makes sense as a location for Goku. The Spider-Man stage, you fuckers told me to put him in Donkey Kong. I hated that idea, but we did it anyway because it was your idea. So he's there, in Donkey Kong for some reason. Don't know how much it lended to the stage. Laura is in a Funko Land to retrieve the hidden gems to sell on eBay. Okay, that works. That works with Laura. The Simpsons are in their family home where they live every day of their life. It makes sense. It makes sense for them to be there. Arthur. Where the fuck would we put Arthur? In his computer? I mean, I guess that's an option. He could be underwater looking for the thing. Can we say this game is in development hell? We have... five stages, more or less, done. Out of the 7 main stages we're gonna have. We're making progress. That's not a bad idea to have the Magic School Bus be like the enemy at the end. And have Miss Frizzle be like the boss. That would be fine. I don't mind the idea of having them be underwater looking for the thing. Of course, if they're underwater looking for the thing, then we're gonna have to decide what the thing actually is. We have to keep that in mind. Okay, so here's the thing. So, if they're underwater, they don't necessarily need to be piloting anything. They could just be underwater with a scuba mask on, and they just control, like, you know, a shmup ship that shoots things. Like the precedence is already there. It's already there. Like, Arthur, Binky... Who did we decide? Arthur, Binky, Buster, and the Brain? Whoever we decide. Arthur's 4 friends are at their computers. They have to find the thing. So they're all at their computers, their individual homes. They're having a LAN party. And in order to really find the thing, to really get in there and find the goddamn thing, Arthur drops the keyboard on the floor, which zaps them into the game, so they can go find the thing. And at that point, it's the shmup with the Star Fox parody in it. Gamers, I have to piss, and this thing in my teeth is driving me bananas. I feel like I should take a piss break. Here's the thing, the majority of today's stream has just been brainstorming what we're doing, and that's okay, but I need to take a piss break, and this thing in my teeth is gonna make me scream. Let me go piss or something. Hold on. Okay. I peed. I don't know if I fully got the thing out of my teeth, but I peed. Okay. Arthur. Arthur. Let me at least put a stage here. Okay, so, Arthur. Arthur underwater. With his fucking jerk-off pals. But then, I mean, pals who are all jerk-offs, not pals who jerk off together. It's different. It's a different thing. Arthur has a really stupid fucking head. Like it's ovular. But not too ovular. Just ovular enough to be gross, you know? Be a gross guy. Kind of like that, I think. I need to pull up an image of Arthur because I'm gonna start drawing like a fucking weirdo. I'm gonna be drawing some fucked up freak if I don't have a source image. Okay, there we go. Okay, he's got these stupid ears at the top of his head. I figure we'll just do a vertical one. He's got these nerd-ass glasses that are towards the top of his head. Okay. Just might have to go a little lower. He's got like eyebrows. Okay. He's not wall-eyed. That works better. He's got a nose. He's got a smile. We have to make room for the smile. Okay, there we go. Paranormal Syndrome, how's it going? Hold on a second here. Oops, that was wrong. Oh, it's 2:30. Some girl has to wake up. Little girl, his sleeping time is over. It's time to wake up from your nap. You need to wake up now and pee in your diaper. You need to wake up now and learn how to download free movies on the internet. It's time to wake up. Hello? 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 Little girl, you wake up now. He doesn't want to wake up. I see you. I see you not waking up down there. I see you covering your face. Stop this. You better wake up. You better wake up right now. If you don't wake up, I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna tickle your toes. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. You better wake up. How would a fist look? Anyone have a fist? It's almost like a fist. Maybe we'll just go with that. It's not fist-like at all. Little girl, I see you upside down. Wake up! Gotta wake up. Oops. General shape, then we have to actually give him feet that don't look like flippers. Even though in this case it would be okay for them to be flippers. Oh, she may be awake. She might be awake. Just a little bit. Okay, let's see. How do feet work? I don't really want them to have feet. I just kind of don't want Arthur to have feet. Just kind of want him to be footless, footloose. Does Arthur even have feet? Have they ever drawn Arthur with feet before? I think he does. He's like stupid ass, like Sonic the Hedgehog shoes. Little girl, I see you laying back on your face. You better get up. Maybe kind of like that. So he's kind of like the perspective is a little weird. It just looks like Arthur with an upside down head, but the idea is an overhead view and he's looking forward. And I know the angle of the head doesn't work that way, but how else would you know that it's Arthur unless you can see his whole face? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I was going to say it looks better when you zoom out, but it doesn't. I just realized that there's built-in options in MS Paint to set whatever you're drawing as your wallpaper, just in case you wanted to. Sorry, I'm dying. Okay.
Holy crap!
Alright, so we gotta color this little fucker in. He's got noodle arms, but I mean, look at the guy, he's a fucking loser. Is this the right shade? No. Well, that's kind of like classic Arthur Brown, you know? Where is... There he is. Like, it matches this color of Arthur. Which I suppose is fine, considering our Arthur is from these games. So... he's got, like, gross, fleshy ears. I'll position the action point right up here, and of course there's no center to this sort of thing, but that's just how this works. So that's Arthur. And now, back to Arthur. So, obviously, Click and Play has a built-in 8-directional movement. But do we want to just do a quick custom movement so we have the ability to fuckle with it a little more? Oh, I just did a wretched fart. Ugh. Probably. Here's the thing. And we don't need example Arthur here no more. So here's the thing. We probably wouldn't be able to do boosting and braking because that would kind of fuck with, like, the artificial scrolling. But we could probably do rolling. would be fine. Maybe we can stick with the built-in 8-directional movement and we just do some extra shit if we want to try, like, giving him a roll from double tapping left and right. It's possible. It's possible. So let's start by clamping Arthur's movement a bit. If his Y position is less than... Hey Siri, what is 480 plus go fuck yourself?
I won't respond to that.
Owned. Laugh my ass off. XD. Ruffle. What am I doing wrong? This is a minus, right? 448. If his Y position is greater than 448, we will set his Y position to 448. Oops, 448. So let's see, we should be able to not exit the bottom of the screen now. Wow. Interesting. So it looks like, even though that positioning should be running every frame, the built-in click and play movement is just letting Arthur kind of fuck off down here. That's weird. Why is the movement that powerful? He should just be getting... Ugh. Maybe we do have to do a custom movement. So, well, let's experiment a bit. Obviously, we're not going to get much done today. The primary purpose of today was, figuring out what we were doing, so let's just kind of fuckle a little bit. So repeat while it's moving right. And we'll just grab some values for now. We might not stick with these values. If ultimate value A is less than 4, we'll add 1 to 4? Well, no. No, the other boys are just gonna be around. What? Let's start doing this simple before we fuck anything up. Set X coordinate to oops. What if we did just use the built-in movement? You know? Oops. Like, would it be that bad if we used the built-in movement? He gets a little janky on the edges, but how bad is that, really? X-coordinate is less than 32. Set X-coordinate to 32. How bad would it be if we used the built-in movement? Okay, 32 was not right, it needed to be 16. Is it so bad if he's a little jittery at the edges? Like, is it? I'm annoyed that the movement can do that. Can ignore the every frame set you hear thing, but it's not the worst thing in the world that he's a little jittery at the edges. Greater than... $624. Oops. Like, he kind of smushes against the edges and gets jittery, but that's not the worst thing. And then maybe we'll try to confine him to the bottom half of the screen, so that you can't just go to the top and go fuck yourself. Further down. $272. There we go, so we have free movement for the bottom half of the screen. And maybe we can do kind of like, if you double tap left or right, you'll do a quick roll in that direction. That's a possibility. The real issue with this Arthur sprite is the neck is clearly not attached to where the neck would go on the head. It looks like it's attached to the back of his head, but we're not going to worry about that. We're just not. So we would have him come in. There's water in the background. There's some effect to make it look like we're scrolling. Some small enemies are going to come in from the top. We'll have a, we'll program in a dialogue box for them to communicate. All thing finders report. And then we start doing the work. Give Arthur a projectile, give him bombs, ability to roll. And it'll work. It's just gonna, you know, this is the beginning. This is the beginning. This is the beginning. This is the beginning. Let's do a little quick thing here. Oh, right, no, that's something else. Notes from other. Okay, so we still just things you have to go back and do at some point. We have to add the Malaysian Goku voice to Goku. We have to review the multiple Peters bug. I don't remember if we've already done something for that, but that's something I wrote down we have to do. We have to review the no Peters bug. Oh boy. We have to figure out giving Wolverine a voice and the future bosses. We have to... This we already did. We gave Wolverine boss fight music, so that's off the list. We have to wrap up the code for the Wolverine fight to make the fight actually end. Make the boss fight for Nathan Sandwiches, balance pass, and wrap up code for the Sandwiches boss fight so we can actually end. We have to add a life counter to the lure stages. Okay. Music for Cat Dog boss fight. Stage and transition for Cat Dog boss fight. There's probably some other things I thought of. You know what, there is something else. Let's go back up to Wolverine. Add a Jinjo to the Peter stage. Good. I'm pressing Control S to save, and it's not accepting that as a shortcut. Oh. So this is specifically notes for stuff we have to do in the stages we've already more or less completed. Obviously, there's still the whole thing of we have to do bonus stages, we have to do the game over screens, transitionary cutscenes, the etc., but that's kind of a given. You know, clean up the visible debug stuff. Disable any debug keys we put into any of the stages. You know, do the usual bug fix passes to make sure we didn't leave in any stupid obvious shit. But good. Good. Wolverine. Window. A great door. Truck. Okay, so that's good. We got some notes on what has to happen. We know what we're doing with Arthur. They're going to be underwater looking for the thing. We're going to have to figure out what kind of enemies Arthur's going to run into underwater. You know? Music should be simple. We can just grab, like, Star Fox 64 music. Like, that all exists. Okay, so we have a path forward. I'm hoping, and I am going to try not to jinx us. I'm trying very hard not to jinx us, but hopefully this shmup will be nowhere near as time-consuming as the Simpsons stage, because we're being nowhere near as ambitious. It should be very easy to do a simple shmup. And shoehorn in all of the Star Fox kind of referencing. Now, if we're gonna have, like, 5 or 6, I forget how many screens are in each of these things, screens of this for them, are they all gonna be underwater? I feel like they kind of have to move through different areas. We're gonna have to think about that. How long do I think it will take to complete this level? I have no idea. It's probably gonna end up taking a year again. Am I streaming for Labor Day? Labor Day is Monday. I don't stream on Mondays. Yeah, so we're gonna have to think about the stages. We don't want every stage to be too samey if it's gonna be kind of a Star Fox thing, but we'll see. But yeah, alright. Let's bring this guy down.
Goodbye, stupid. We've had a lot of fun on your crappy computer. Please don't ever come back.
Like, maybe at some point they can fly into, like, a void where physics no longer applies, and they're just, like, trapped in this, like, weird hell zone that they have to escape from. Before they find Miss Frizzle and the magic school bus and have to destroy her. But yeah, okay, so tentatively looking forward to what we're doing with this. Hopefully we don't have another Simpsons issue in our hand. At some point I need to go back and actually look at how long we spent on each stage to figure out... I mean, I'm pretty sure The Simpsons was the longest stage. I don't think the Laura stage took anywhere near as long as this, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. Anyway, once again, I really appreciate y'all tuning in. As long as this baby cooperates with her sleeping schedule, she's been really difficult to get to sleep. Then on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we should be continuing Sheep Raider. So we'll see how that works. And the rest of the week, it's the usual schedule. I don't need to remind you guys. There's no one new here. You know the drill. Yeah. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go pee again because this old man juice has ruined me, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. It's very unfortunate. I will not enjoy my pee. I will be very irritated with my pee.